Muted? Oh, for God's sakes. See, that's what happens. I'm going around playing with my settings again, trying to do some pre-recorded content, and I go ahead and fuck up. Anyways, welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here we focus on fundamentals and technicals. You guys can hear me now. So there you go. We're muted. All right. Welcome to the stream. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about traditional finance. We're going to talk about Ethereum and all of the stuff that makes the crypto markets tick. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. Starting off with Bitcoin here on the daily, on the area chart. Just want to draw your attention to the fact that we are on a reaction, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. We have this downward sloping line of resistance that we've just overtaken. And so we need to come down and test. Anytime we break past a high, we need to come down and test a higher low. So this is just the potential trend change. This is the first kind of real rally that we've had since the beginning of the decline, since the beginning of the reaction, and I think that it's quite bullish. I think that we're bullish, but man, there's nothing like a change in price to really change the sentiment. Everybody calling for the 30K, the 20K, like. Take it one level at a time, people. One level at a time. Let's turn the candles on. I would anticipate probably a reaction back down to this area of the breakout, right where we broke out of this downward sloping line of resistance. Anywhere from 36 to 38 would be on the cards. We could absolutely hold at this level, but we can look for those the higher low to come in and print as well. We're going to freak a lot of people out. That's what crypto does. It's a volatile asset class. We did get our bullish cross on the daily with the alphanumerics indicator. We are waiting for the 3-day. The 3-day is the big mama indicator. Every time we get a 3-day signal, it's a long signal. It's a big signal. It's a very juicy signal. So we're waiting for that to come in. If you guys want to get hooked up on the alphanumerics indicator, I still don't have it linked in the description. My apologies. I'm going to have to get that all sorted and squared away so that you guys can trade alongside this indicator that gives you the entries, exits, take profits, and investment signals all in one indicator. All right, gotta love that 3-day. PewCoin, buy now. Gotta retest. Alts are on sale again, kinda. I love that. Love that 3-day. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got to, okay, so let's take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll focus on traditional finance. Everybody is so fucking nervous in these markets. It's just a bunch of monkeys trading bananas out there. Nobody has a clear direction. Nobody has conviction in their positions whatsoever. Now everybody's worried about Russia going to war. I don't know. I don't know what to make with the newsreel these days. It feels a little too propaganda-ish to me, but I typically avoid all that stuff, and I'm a much happier person for avoiding all of the noise. Did I say noise? I meant news. Same sort of thing that we're seeing here. We got this breakout coming back for a retest. Shit's on sale. You've been wanting to get things at a discount for a few days now, as everything has been showing a lot of strength and a lot of bullishness. Buy the dip if you dare. Let's take a look at traditional finance. So we'll start out with the S&P 500. Rejection from this line right here. So this is, there is uncertainty in the markets. There is investors don't like uncertainty. They don't like the threat of war. They don't like the threat of inflation. They don't like all of these things that are coming from traditional finance, coming from all these announcements from the policymakers. And without clarity, there's no demand. So because there is a tapering in demand, we're seeing this kind of distributive pattern begin to form. We lost the support level, we came up, and now we are bearish testing it. So there is a very high probability that we do get a reaction and a rejection off of this level. And will crypto survive that? Fuck no, absolutely not. So do be prepared for more downside in crypto if we get a shakeout in traditional finance. I will say that the setups that we're seeing in cryptocurrency are looking juicy. We're seeing a lot of stuff that is giving us potential for some nice trades, but we are not decoupled from traditional finance, so we're kind of at an inflection point. Traditional finance looks like shit as far as the indices are concerned, and crypto is looking like we've had a shakeout, we're ready for a reversal, and there's a lot of bullishness and a lot of bullish fundamentals to go along with that. We do have a bullish divergence forming on the S&P. You can see this lower low structure on the price as we have a higher low structure on the RSI, so that's a good thing. We did get a rally off of that level, but that rally was met with a rejection at the previous support. Let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. Same sort of story, different structure, a lot more sloped of a structure here, but we did lose the support, got a bearish test, and now we're facing a rejection. So best case scenario we could be looking for something like this is just a consolidation style accumulation while we just chop around. Bullish news story, bearish news story, bullish news story, bearish news story, whatever. We're all being manipulated at the end of the day. And then watch for that breakout, and that would be the signal to the market that we are ready to print all new highs inside of the indexes. Let's back it up. Go to check out the Russell. Russell's really clean index here on the Russell, just almost a picture perfect distribution here on the Russell. So definitely, from a technical point of view, from a Wyckoff point of view, there's absolutely the possibility that we come down and test some lower levels. This will really scare the markets. I'm telling you, it's not going to look good if we get that. That would test the previous areas of the that would test the untested areas of the previous resistance. So I would be looking for that as an area to begin accumulation campaigns if that does in fact end up being the case. And we can go ahead and take a look at the final index, and that is the Dow. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow Jones Industrial, also trading sideways with not nearly as terrible of a structure. Honestly, we had a support. If we're gonna kind of mimic the other ones, we had a support here, we bounced below it, and now we're testing it bullishly. So it's looking good for the Dow at least, but everything else inside of equities really shaky. Not a lot of conviction out there. Most of the market is made up of just degenerate morons. So we probably do need a shakeout. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other plays that we have out here, most notably SLP. So play to earn, not dead at all. There was an economic adjustment with the price of SLP. Shout out to my VIP members who took this trade. We posted the chart at around a penny. Currently, I told you to take profits at 3 pennies, and it's currently at around. It's heading down. We're gonna get a reaction on this one. So kudos to those who took the trade and got the 200% move, but it's looking capped out. We've got some bearish divergence occurring right here. So SLP is definitely heading back to the downside. We could be looking in this general area for a bounce. Something like that would be the ideal. That would be the optimistic approach. Get a bounce somewhere around just over 2 cents. If we take a look at the fib retracement, this is all from the technical side. I'll touch on the fundamentals in a moment. Get a bounce somewhere around the 618. So again, that 2 cent area. 2 cents, nice psychological number. It's a number that's people like big even numbers. So the 2 cent area could be an area that we could have a bounce. But the thing about SLP is this is a coin that is minted a lot. So that's what the team is trying to do. They're trying to slow down the amount of SLP that's being minted, but there's also burning inside of the game of Axie Infinity, and nobody's burning shit. The biggest thing that we used to do for burning was breeding. I don't know anybody that's breeding anymore. Nobody's breeding. It's just nobody's breeding. So it is what it is. They need to incentivize the burn. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. It's the Fed. All right, we can take a look at a few other altcoins. Go ahead and drop your tickers. Let's take a look at Avalanche. Avalanche getting rejection. It was so close to the breakout. We're not in altcoin season, guys. We are not in altcoin season. Bitcoin paves the way for altcoin season until Bitcoin gives you proper confirmation, meaning a higher low and then another higher high. Then we'll be in altcoin season. So until we get that, we need to remain level-headed. We need to remain calm. We got a rejection here. not great. I would love to have seen this break out and have us retesting right now, but we didn't really get the retest. I'm not going to go ahead and take a look at this on the closes. I kind of like the wicks. I like to go a little bit more conservative in most cases, so I'm not calling this a breakout just yet. Also, the volume is just really pitiful right now. You can see just small amounts of volume. It means that the market has not agreed on the terms of the breakout. This is not a breakout in terms of avalanche. Let's take a look at something else. Matic, same sort of story. Rejection. Really long-term choppy accumulation here on Matic. I do think that it is an accumulation. It could start breaking down. I really hope it doesn't. I hold a large position in Matic. So getting a little apprehensive with the structure that is being built on Matic. I don't like this kind of structure here, you know, a breakdown, bearish retest. Don't want to get a rejection from this level. If we start to really change the trend here, it may be time to bail on some of the positions that we've accumulated at higher levels, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. You got to know when to cut the trade. But yeah, Matic doing its thing. Hopefully it turns around, but hope is not a strategy, obviously. Let's take a look at Phantom. Phantom's an interesting one. It's a weird one because you know, Phantom's got a really good ratio between the market cap to total value locked, and it's quite fair. When we look at other projects, their market cap is much higher than the liquidity that's held on those chains, on those side chains. So Phantom definitely has a fundamentally bullish case that can be made, that it's kind of undervalued based on the liquidity that's on that exchange or on that network. But we're not seeing that show up in the price action. We're not seeing that show up in the order book. And a lot of that is due to the fact of market sentiment. There's just no demand. There's no demand. We are not risk on. There is a lot of people in this world that are not looking at investments right now. They're looking at, holy fuck, are we going to war? Or, oh my God, is the next COVID variant going to shut down this, that, and the other? So not a lot of people willing to part with their dollars in the form of investment these days. So, you know, that's showing up in the lack of demand. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the tickers here, catching up with the chat. AMP. Curve. Let's take a look at Curve. Ooh, not good. Not good. It's been a while. I haven't wanted to look. So we lost this level. Got a rejection from this support/resistance flip. This was a very clean cup and handle setup. It's not looking so clean and dandy right now. Nice little rejection off of that level. Probably this is going to end up being a bag for me. It is what it is. Sometimes you have bags in this world, in this investment thesis of crypto. So yeah, I've seen better charts for sure. I have seen much better charts. Now, a lot of this is probably due to the fact that these tokens, these governance tokens, are being issued in very large volumes to the liquidity providers. So if you are providing liquidity to any of the Curve pool tokens, you're getting a lot of these things for free. So there's a ton of sell pressure built into these types of tokens. I had a nice investment thesis that certain protocols like Olympus DAO, the Redacted Cartel, and Lobis would be consuming enough of the Curve governance tokens to overtake that supply that was coming on market. But if we don't have investor demand and we don't have investor speculation on that exact thesis, then we're not going to mark up the price. We're not going to get the order books pumping through. We're not going to get the volume pumping through the order books to give us a markup period. So it is what it is. All right, I'll be nice. We'll take a look at AMP. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's probably a shit coin. Where is it available? AMP on Binance. Fuck. What do you want from this, man? What are you trying to get rich from this? This is fucking down only. Let's take a look at the fundamentals. AMP was one of those ones that got a hell of a lot of YouTube hype. This is why it's always a good idea to not listen to most people. Don't listen to fucking YouTubers, man. They're shills. They're paid shills. All of them. A lot of them. They're a bunch of charlatans. pay me some Ethereum and I'll shill your bullshit token. If we go over to the website, let's see what their claim to fame is. Let's take money to the 21st century. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just fucking ridiculous. All right. So this is all coming back to me. This is some sort of, point of sale thing where, merchants can accept crypto and there's a machine and they use the AMP tokens and collateral as a service, blah, blah, blah. The long story short, the AMP token doesn't fucking do anything. And that's quite clear based on the price structure. So, it doesn't do anything. Really low volume, not the best token to be betting the house on for sure. It looks good though on the weekly. What fucking chart are you looking at? What chart are you looking at? Dude, this is a full-blown distribution. This is not looking good. I don't care what fucking time frame you're looking at. How does this look good on the weekly? This is just a coin that got slaughtered, my friend. This is a coin that it got a lot of people hyped up on YouTube, and a lot of people bought something that they didn't understand, and this is the result. It's just shit. I don't know what you can think that this is good on the weekly. We're in a downtrend, very strong downtrend, not a lot of demand, not a lot of utility, no applications. Moving on. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't usually be this ruthless, but sometimes I can get into it. What are your opinions on Theta and T-Fuel? From a fundamental point of view, I just think that the world's not really ready for the thesis of Theta. Like we have plenty of streaming. We're still centralized, man. We're still centralized. We don't need decentralized streaming just yet. That being said, it's quite a beautiful narrative that people can get behind, and there's not a lot of sell pressure built into the tokenomics of Theta. So, I'd be looking at this kind of area. It's down only right now. Until this, let's just erase everything and keep it really simple, okay? Until you can get above this downward sloping line of resistance, it's down. So until we can break that line, don't even look at it. If you're invested in it and you're thinking, I'm going to hold this long term, I would advise that you don't look at it. Just set an alarm on this line. When price gets above, revisit, take a look at what's going on, and move from there. T-Fuel, it's the gas of the Theta protocol, but I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Most of crypto is a scam. Not saying that Theta is a scam. Just saying that statistically speaking, it's got a high probability that it is. Yes, I'm streaming on YouTube as well. YouTube and Twitch. How do you guys feel about that? You feel like I'm cheating on you? Twitch community, let me know. Should I just give up on YouTube? It's a bunch of fucking yahoos on YouTube anyways. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean that. YouTube's the big boy. I do prefer streaming on Twitch, but I do produce content on YouTube as well. EGLD. EGLD. Man. A lot of these oddball ones. Well, somebody offloaded some bags. We had a nice little pump and dump action right here. We did print a higher high. If only by a wick, we did print a higher high. So that is noteworthy. If this trend continues, if this localized trend continues, then I could see us repairing the trend and going for another run. But as it stands right now, it's still making lower highs and lower lows. We need to break that downward structure before we can even begin to entertain the upside. So if we hug this trend line, and start breaking out some of these highs, most notably this high right here, then yeah, we got a case. We can get a squeeze and we can break out from there. But you just gotta wait. You gotta wait for the signal. Wait for signal. The signals come a lot less often than people think. People have this romanticized idea of what it means to be a trader, sitting in front of a bunch of monitors. Oh, something's happening over there, and they're day trading, and they're just clicking buttons all day. if you're a quant trader managing, you know, like a $1 billion fund and you're looking for arbitrage opportunities, yeah, that's what it looks like. But if you're a retail investor, you should be sticking to high time frames, less setups, more quality setups in quality projects that have legitimate demand. Can you explain why some traders look at Bitcoin CME charts to inform their entries / exits on spot? No, I can't. Every trader has their thesis. Every trader has their, you know, idea. So we'll look at the chart. There are some plays that you can do with Bitcoin. You know, gap plays. People will trade the gaps. Like we have a gap right here on the daily. So, you know, maybe this is where we stop. We go to 40K, fill the gap, reverse from there. Gaps don't always have to fill, but there are a lot of gaps on this chart, and there's this narrative out there that the gaps do get filled. These are all day trader plays. You know, I highly recommend that if you are a retail investor and you're not managing an account that's, you know, over $250,000, stick to the big swings, stick to the big trades, and you know, less is more, less diversified. You can assume some risk, but don't fucking try and day trade on leverage or anything like that. You're just going to chop yourself to pieces. Link, balancer, link. A lot of these OG tokens, these OG DeFi tokens, I'm losing faith in considerably. Balancer is one of them. I think we're organizing liquidity in a very different way. But that's kind of a fundamental thesis. You know, there's a lot of things springing up that I think are better investments out there. And the investment piece should be a part of your trading strategy. But you know, these things are on exchanges. People can trade them. So, you know, we can definitely trade the breakout. So there is kind of this falling wedge formation that's happening on Balancer. So there's definitely something that could potentially be traded there, but not a ton of volume. And when the volume did come in, it was in the form of selling. We can see this kind of spike in volume here. So somebody was offloading a shit ton of Balancer. At least on FTX, they were offloading a shit ton of Balancer. So this legacy DeFi, I'm not convinced is going to be sustainable. So this is why it's so fucking tricky to be a long-term investor in crypto. It really is, because what's a good idea one day is not a good idea the next day. So long-term investments, if you're truly thinking long-term, stick with the big boys, stick with Bitcoin, stick with Ethereum, and honestly, everything else should be considered a trade. You should have an exit strategy for anything else that you're investing in, because it's here today and gone tomorrow. You got to be pretty aggressive with the other stuff. Traders can make a lot of money in this market. Long-term investors thinking that they're buying indices and stuff like that. This is not equities, man. This is a very quickly developing ecosystem. This is a very fast-moving market where you need to make decisions on your positions quite quickly. Woo. Let's take a look at Woo. Woo is also kind of looking a little yucky, which sucks because I got a position in Woo. Everything's looking not very committal right now. Like, no, there are no charts that just look ready to go, except for maybe Bitcoin and ETH. So, you know, if you want to know where the trades are, they're with Bitcoin and ETH. Oh, but I want to trade altcoins so I can do 100x. Well, your desire to continuously want to do 100x is holding you back from getting consistent 20%, compounding 20% over and over and over again, because you just want to knock it out of the park on a shitcoin. That's not everybody. That's just a lot of people. So yeah, you know, this is what we're looking at with Woo. Little bit of consolidation. I don't like the structure. It was looking a lot better before. It was looking less like a distribution, but at this point, I think if we get a nice breakout, I may even consider removing some of my position if we get another move up to, let's say, $1.40, $1.50 maybe. There could be an opportunity for me to reduce the position on Woo. I do think that there is an opportunity that will probably present itself, but the landscape is changing. The landscape is changing, and we're seeing a new wave, a whole new adoption wave of all these different currencies that are coming in. And, you know, like looks and, you know, there's a ton of other, I got some videos coming down the pipe for you to entertain yourselves with. But yeah, there's just, once again, the crypto landscape is changing. You need to change with it. If you don't want to change with it, buy Bitcoin. Woo, yeah, it's, if the market turns, we'll break out of this triangle. We'll be able to get an opportunity to offload somewhere around $1.25 to potentially $1.50. I'll probably still maintain a long-term position in Woo as a venture capital play, just see what it did. I mean, I scooped it up at 30 cents, so it's not that big a deal. But, you know, I'll leave a moon bag just in case, but I am losing my interest in the way this is shaping up as a structure. Okay. Theta was awarded 6 patents in 2021 and plans on 30 to 60 patents in 2022. Yes, long-term investment, 1 to 3 years, or for a full rollout. I entered at 8 cents. What's Theta doing? We just looked at it, but I forgot what the price is. Got in at 8 cents. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Now, patents are fine. Patent also kind of confuses me. Of cryptocurrency is open source permissionless code. So you can't have a patent on open source permissionless code because it's available for everyone and I can steal your idea without permission. So if Theta does have patents, well, first of all, I don't think they're a decentralized blockchain. They might be organizing in a blockchain fashion, but I guess I don't really know enough about Theta to really be able to determine if it's, you know, its crypto worthiness. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about paperwork, okay? I give a fuck about applications and users. So if there are apps built that users are using, that I care about. Patents, paperwork, who gives a fuck? Get 100 patents, get 1,000 patents. It's not going to change the way I think about it. But if you get users on board and you have applications that actually have streamers, you have streamers actually using this shit, well, now we have something. Now we have something significant. If you start nipping at the heels of Twitch, if you start taking market share from YouTube, yeah, we have something significant. I just don't see that happening. Man, I sound really bearish today. I don't mean to sound this bearish. I had no intention of coming online here and sounding so bearish. Shiba just did 100%. Yeah, so these are the scams that pump hard. Shiba Inu. Scams that pump hard. Scams that pump hard. There it is. Yeah. So why does Doge pump? Why does Shiba pump? It's actually quite interesting because these are not smart contract platforms, because these are separate from, you know, selling pressure, because these aren't issued in terms of governance rewards, because there's not sell pressure built into these protocols. When you get hype behind it, it fucking moons. It reacts the same way as Bitcoin. Bitcoin back in the day, you know, it's not running any smart contracts. It's not being issued out. It's not being constantly, you're not increasing the supply and giving it to people for mining liquidity. It's its own thing where the market is going to decide its price without any influence of the protocol dynamics as they are. And I'm trying to say that in a way that kind of makes sense, but I'm probably doing a really shitty job because I'm not good at giving technical explanations simply. But basically what it means is when people are bullish on this garbage, useless, fucking dumb shitcoin, it can moon really, really easily. It's a scam that pumps hard. And that's fine. It's going to do what it's going to do. Now, we were able to get through a lot of key resistance here, and if we're able to hold its support, particularly this level at 0.000025 dollars, then yeah, you have a bull case to be made for Shiba Inu. Since we're on the case, why don't we also take a look at Doge, because it's the same thing. It's the same sort of it's the same sort of way that this coin is set up. You know, if you get a community behind it, they will mark the fucking price up. It's a great coin to trade, by the way. You know, if you can get in it, I just never have enough conviction. But if you can find yourself in a favorable trading position with either Doge or Shiba Inu, they're not bad coins to trade because they're liquid. There's a lot of dumb people buying it. And you can get in and you can get out and you can experience some nice markup. I mean, this last rally here on Doge was 1,000% to the top. I mean, you wouldn't nail the top, but it was 1,000% to the top. So it's definitely one on my watch list. But yeah, it's one of those weird ones. But I do like the fact that it does not have a bunch of built-in selling pressure. That's a feature of this one. Samsung, Sony, etc. I don't care. I don't care, Kahuna. I'm gonna shit on your coin, and there's nothing you can do about it. Don't get fundamentaled about anything. This space moves too quickly. Reality check with the grumpy bear. Baloo the Bear. The old in and out. Okay. Doesn't the recycling of staked slash lended funds between FTM and TOOM give a manipulated TVL? Doesn't the recycling of staked slash lended funds between FTM and TOOM give a manipulated TVL? That one's hurting my brain. I don't really know what you're referring to because I don't know much about the TOOM protocol. But I don't think you can hide TVL. TVL is TVL. We looked at Balancer. Keep it real on YouTube for us. Simple tech people. Baloo the most realistic YouTube out there. Oh, thank you. All right, well then I'll stay. I am tempted sometimes to leave at least the live stream. I'll still drop videos on YouTube, but yeah. Also holding a bag of CRV. Are you staking? Yeah, I'm staking on Convex. So that's another thing entirely. But yeah, I am staking it. Anything that I'm holding long term, if I can be staking it, I'll stake it. Did you short the way down? No. Doge? I don't really short, if I'm being perfectly honest. There's a lot of risk with any trade that you take, and when you're going short, there's not a ton of money that you can make. I do not use high leverage. I do not short for profit. I will short to hedge a position, especially if a position that I have is staked. I will hedge that position with a short so that I don't need to unstake it and sell it. But yeah, you know, it's very rare. This market is asymmetry to the upside. You have to be patient with your entries. You have to be patient with your signals. I focus on one side. If you're focusing on longing and shorting, fuck man, you're just going to get chopped because you're going to lose sight of the macro trend. You're going to lose sight of the macro environment. You're going to lose sight of demand. I focus on the long side. There's just more upside opportunity to the long side. You can keep borrowing and pumping into FTM. Okay, I think I understand. So TOOM is, what is TOOM? Let's actually just take a look at TOOM. It sounds like an abracadabra. When you don't know something, go take a look. TOOM Finance, algorithmic token backed by FTM. Okay, yeah, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like a clone of. Where am I? It looks like a clone of abracadabra. So you're doing looping is what you're referring to. You can keep buying FTM and looping it. So if that's the case, then there's even more. No, I actually don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I think TVL measures the amount in the liquidity pools. So if anything, you're inflating the market cap of FTM, which means that it has an even better ratio of liquidity total value locked versus the market cap, because you're constantly buying and looping on FTM. I'm gonna have to take a look. It's not a good it's not good live stream material. When I need to do the really deep research, it's not good live stream material, but I'll take a look. That's interesting. Possible rush into meme coins by retail during the upcoming reset. It's very possible. You know, Doge, I don't know if you guys heard, but Doge is the people's coin. This is the people's money right here. This is how we will interact with one another in the futures with Doge coins. So yes, I could absolutely see that narrative begin to take shape in the face of inflation, in the face of, you know, geopolitical turmoil. Absolutely, we could see that. Dusk. Oh man, that's like the biggest Twitter shill coin. If you post anything on Twitter saying, what's the next coin that will 100x? What altcoin should I look at? What's the next coin to do this? It's always Dusk. There's always somebody in the comment section that says Dusk. And I guess it worked because it got a hell of a markup on it, and we are now in a bearish trend. So trend is your friend until it ends. We are in a bearish trend. This is heading down, lower levels, cheaper prices, 44 cents now, cheaper prices later, down, 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 all the way to fucking zero. I don't know if it's going to go to zero, but we're going to need to go into an accumulation phase. So typically you have a markup phase, a distribution, a mark down phase, and an accumulation. So we're going to need an accumulation on Dusk to really get excited about it, because as it stands right now, I mean, unless you're shorting it, which I've already said I don't, I'm going to wait for that accumulation. Then you accumulate in the accumulation and you sell in the markup and distribution. This is the cycle that is repeated over and over and over again in all of these cryptocurrencies. So if you can understand the cycles, the cyclical nature of price structure, you can position yourself at the right time, which is right here. Boom. As soon as you break above an accumulation, you get in and you enjoy markup. Obviously, I'm making it sound simpler than it is, but there's definitely things that you can be looking at to help you position at the right time. And as it stands right now, it is not the right time. Down only. All right, how much time do I got? I have no time. I've got to get out of here. Well, this was a lovely and pleasurable session of nothing but bearish sentiment on everybody's favorite altcoins, but we are in a bearish trend. We do have a lot of things to consider in traditional finance. We don't have a clean trend reversal on the leading asset of Bitcoin, so we do need to, you know, consume a healthy amount of realism as we're trading and investing out there. So I hope you guys did enjoy that. I hope you guys like me talking shit about your coins. If you do, hit the like. If you really like it, you can go ahead and follow and subscribe. But that is all the time I have for today. So we will see you in the next one. Please trade safe and peace.